Have you ever had a day where everything seemed to go wrong? You wake up feeling off, and from the moment you step out of bed, it's like the universe is working against you. Maybe you spill your coffee, get stuck in traffic, or receive bad news you weren't expecting. One thing after another, and suddenly, it feels like the whole day is ruined. It's frustrating. It's exhausting. And worst of all, it makes you question everything. Why does this keep happening to me? When will things finally get better? And the more you focus on what's going wrong, the heavier it feels. Like you're trapped in this endless loop of setbacks, disappointments, and struggles with no way out. But listen carefully. Because here's the truth that most people forget when they're in the middle of a rough time. Bad days do not last forever. No matter how overwhelming things feel right now, this moment will pass. It might not feel like it in the heat of the struggle, but nothing in life is permanent. Not the pain, not the frustration, not even the feeling of being stuck. What makes the difference isn't whether or not you go through hard times. Everyone does. What matters is how you handle them. Some people let bad days control them, drain them, and shape how they see the world. Others learn to take a step back, control their perspective, and push forward no matter how hard it gets. And that's exactly what we're going to break down in this video. You're going to learn how to handle tough times with a Stoic mindset, how to stay calm, keep your emotions in check, and navigate difficulties with strength and wisdom. You'll learn how to build an unshakable mentality so that no matter what life throws at you, you remain in control. But before we dive in, if you want to build resilience, develop a strong mind, and take back control of your life, make sure to subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset and hit the like button. This channel is all about helping you unlock your full potential, protect your energy, and stay focused on what truly matters. Now, let's get into it. 1. Bad days always feel longer than they actually are. When you're in the middle of a bad day, it feels like time slows down. A single moment of frustration can stretch into hours of negativity. You wake up feeling off, and suddenly, every little inconvenience seems bigger than it actually is. Your emotions start dictating your perception, making everything feel worse than it really is. Think about it. Have you ever had a bad morning and told yourself, well, the whole day is ruined now? That single thought shifts your mindset. It makes you notice every minor inconvenience, every mistake, every challenge, reinforcing the idea that today just isn't your day. But here's the thing, was it actually a bad day? Or did you just get caught in a loop of negativity? Most of the time, bad days aren't bad days at all. They're just bad moments that we hold on to. A disagreement with someone in the morning doesn't have to ruin the entire day. One setback at work doesn't mean everything is falling apart. But when we let those moments dictate our mood, we give them more power than they deserve. Now, here's something the Stoics understood well. Time moves forward, whether you're happy or miserable. And the way you perceive time has a huge impact on your experience. If you spend the entire day replaying the same negative thoughts, of course, it's going to feel like a long, miserable day. But if you learn to let go of small frustrations and shift your focus, time starts to move differently. One of the simplest ways to do this is to pause and ask yourself, will this matter in a week? A month? A year? Most of the time, the answer is no. What feels overwhelming right now will eventually fade, just like every other challenge you've faced in the past. Another strategy is to break the cycle with action. When you feel stuck in negativity, do something different. Change your environment. Step outside. Move your body. Talk to someone who lifts your spirits. The longer you sit in frustration, the heavier it becomes. But the moment you shift your focus, time speeds up again. The truth is, bad days aren't actually longer than good ones. They just feel that way because we give them too much attention. But once you understand that, you take back control. You stop letting one bad moment ruin the rest of your day. And when you master that skill, you start realizing that most bad days were never actually bad days at all. 2. Everything in life is temporary. No matter how bad today feels, it will not last forever. This is one of the core principles of Stoicism, the understanding that everything in life is temporary. The good, the bad, the highs, and the lows, they all come and go like waves in the ocean. But when you're in the middle of a struggle, it's easy to forget this. When things are going well, time seems to fly. But when you're facing difficulties, it drags on, making you feel like you'll be stuck in this moment forever. Your brain convinces you that this pain, this setback, this frustration is permanent. But if you take a step back and look at your past, you'll see a pattern. Think about the hardest thing you've ever been through. A time when you thought you'd never recover, never heal, never get past it. Now look at where you are today. You may have scars, but you survived. You may have changed, but you kept going. And the same thing will happen with whatever you're facing right now. Nothing stays the same, not success, not failure, not happiness, not pain. Everything in life moves in cycles. And that means one thing. No matter how bad today is, it will eventually pass. This realization is powerful because it helps you detach from suffering. When you stop seeing hard times as permanent, you stop feeling trapped by them. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" you start saying, "This is just another season." And like all seasons, it will change. The Stoics had a practice called negative visualization. They would remind themselves daily that everything they loved was temporary. Not to be pessimistic, but to prepare themselves for reality. To make peace with the fact that life is always changing. You can use this same mindset to navigate your bad days. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, remind yourself, this moment is fleeting. In a month, a year, or even a few days, things will look completely different. That's how life works. And the faster you accept that, the faster you can let go of unnecessary suffering. So when you're having a bad day, don't resist it. Don't fight against the fact that you're struggling. Just recognize that it's part of the natural rhythm of life. Some days will be harder than others. Some challenges will push you to your limits. But no matter how difficult things get, nothing stays the same forever. And when you embrace that truth, bad days lose their power over you. Because you stop seeing them as roadblocks and start seeing them as what they really are, temporary moments in an ever-changing life. 3. The more you focus on your pain, the more power it has over you. When something goes wrong, your mind has a choice. It can either acknowledge the problem and move forward, or it can dwell on it, replaying the negativity over and over again. Most people, without realizing it, choose the second option. They focus so much on what's going wrong that it becomes bigger than it actually is. A single bad moment turns into an entire bad day, not because the whole day was bad, but because they kept reliving that one negative experience in their mind. Maybe someone said something disrespectful to you in the morning, and instead of brushing it off, you replay that conversation in your head for hours. Maybe you made a mistake at work, and instead of learning from it and moving on, you beat yourself up for the rest of the day. The more you focus on your pain, the more you strengthen it. It's like watering a plant. The more attention and energy you give it, the bigger it grows. And before you know it, what started as a small inconvenience has taken over your entire mindset. The Stoics understood this well. That's why they practiced what's called cognitive distancing, the ability to step back from their emotions and view problems objectively. Instead of getting trapped in negative thoughts, they would ask themselves, is this really as bad as I'm making it out to be? Or am I giving it more power than it deserves? And that's something you can start practicing today. The next time you feel overwhelmed by a bad day, pause and ask yourself, am I making this situation worse by dwelling on it? Will this matter a week from now? A month? A year? What would happen if I stopped thinking about it and focused on something productive instead? When you shift your attention away from negativity, something interesting happens. The problem doesn't disappear, but its grip on you weakens. You start realizing that most of your suffering isn't coming from the situation itself, it's coming from your reaction to it. Imagine two people stuck in traffic. One person is furious, honking their horn, swearing under their breath, completely consumed by frustration. The other person is calm, listening to music, accepting the fact that they can't change the traffic. Same situation. Completely different experiences. The only difference is mindset. The same applies to your bad days. You can keep feeding negativity by replaying it in your mind, or you can shift your focus, take control of your emotions, and move forward. The choice is always yours. 4. When you stop resisting, you start to heal. One of the biggest traps we fall into during tough times is the belief that we can fight our way out of the pain. We try to force ourselves to feel better, to rush through the discomfort, or to deny it altogether. But here's the hard truth. Resistance to our struggles only makes them worse. Think about it. When something bad happens, your first instinct might be to push it away, to tell yourself it shouldn't be happening, or to wish things were different. But that kind of thinking only prolongs the pain. The more you resist it, the more energy you give to the problem. You're fighting against reality, and that takes a lot of mental and emotional effort. What if, instead of fighting against the discomfort, you accepted it? What if you embraced the fact that, yes, this moment is hard, but it's also temporary, and it's part of life's natural flow? The Stoics believed that the key to handling difficulties was acceptance. Not resignation, but the acceptance of reality as it is. When you accept that things are tough right now, without trying to change them or avoid them, you free yourself from the unnecessary burden of resistance. This doesn't mean you give up. It doesn't mean you stop trying to improve your situation. It simply means you stop fighting against the present moment. You stop clinging to how you wish things were, and instead, you focus on how you can move forward from here. In fact, it's through acceptance that you find your greatest power. Imagine this. You're stuck in a difficult situation, and you've been fighting it for hours, feeling overwhelmed by how unfair it is. But then, you decide to stop resisting. You accept that this is your reality for now, and you let go of the need to control it. The moment you do that, you'll notice something incredible. You start to feel lighter. Your emotions become more manageable. You regain your clarity, and your ability to take constructive action returns. When you stop resisting, you stop feeding the cycle of negativity. You stop amplifying your own suffering. And most importantly, you begin to heal. Life isn't about avoiding difficulties or pretending they don't exist. It's about learning to navigate them with grace, resilience, and wisdom. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that peace doesn't come from the absence of struggle. It comes from the way we choose to respond to it. So, the next time you find yourself facing a tough day, remember, when you stop resisting, you open the door to healing and growth. Let the present moment be what it is, and trust that you have the strength to move through it. 5. Strength comes from within. In the midst of life's challenges, it's easy to look outside yourself for solutions. We want someone to tell us what to do, to guide us, or to fix the problems we face. But true strength doesn't come from external sources, it comes from within. The Stoics were masters at this concept. They believed that the power to overcome adversity, to stay calm in the storm, and to rise above difficulties lies in our ability to control our own mind and perspective. You see, when we face challenges, we often feel helpless. We think that the circumstances are too big, too overwhelming, and we feel like we have no control over them. But that's where we go wrong. We can't always control the events of our lives, but we can control how we respond to them. This is where your true power lies. In your ability to choose your reaction, to master your emotions, and to remain steady no matter what's happening around you. Think about the last time you felt truly challenged. Maybe you had an argument, a personal setback, or a difficult decision to make. In that moment, you had a choice. You could react impulsively, let your emotions take over, and let the situation dictate your mood. Or, you could take a step back, breathe, and decide to respond from a place of inner strength. The Stoics practiced a concept called apatheia, which means freedom from the turbulence of emotions. This doesn't mean being emotionless. It means cultivating the ability to remain composed and in control, no matter what life throws your way. It's about building an inner fortress that no external force can penetrate. Imagine yourself in a situation where everything seems to be falling apart. Perhaps you're facing a setback at work, or dealing with a personal loss, or even just overwhelmed by the day-to-day stresses of life. The external circumstances are out of your control, but you still have control over how you respond. You can choose to react with frustration, anger, or fear. Or, you can take a deep breath, remind yourself of your inner strength, and handle the situation with calm and clarity. True strength comes from the ability to remain grounded in the face of adversity. It's about not letting the chaos of the world around you dictate your peace of mind. When you can tap into this inner well of strength, you'll realize that you are never as powerless as you feel in difficult times. You always have the ability to control your response, and that is the most powerful tool you can ever have. So, when life feels heavy and overwhelming, remember, the strength to endure, to rise, and to keep moving forward is already inside you. It's not about waiting for the storm to pass, but about learning to weather it with a calm, unshakable spirit. And the more you cultivate this inner strength, the more unmovable you become in the face of life's challenges. Conclusion. Embrace the power of resilience. As we wrap up this journey through handling difficult days with a Stoic mindset, remember this. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments that will test your strength. But none of these moments define you unless you let them. The power to rise above adversity lies in your ability to control your thoughts, to stay calm in the face of chaos, and to respond with wisdom and resilience. By understanding that bad days are temporary, recognizing the importance of controlling your emotions, and embracing acceptance instead of resistance, you begin to shift your perspective. You realize that no situation is as permanent as it seems, and with the right mindset, you can weather any storm life throws your way. It's not about avoiding hardship, it's about mastering how you respond to it. The Stoics taught us that inner strength is the key to resilience, and that true freedom comes from understanding that we have control over our own minds and actions. So, the next time you're faced with a tough day, remember these principles. Remind yourself that this moment is fleeting, that your power lies in your perspective, and that within you is the strength to endure anything. If you want to continue building your resilience, developing a strong mindset, and learning how to navigate life's toughest challenges with grace and wisdom, don't forget to subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset. Hit the like button, and join us on this journey to unlocking your full potential. Keep building, keep growing, and remember, you have everything within you to rise above any challenge. Stay strong, stay wise, and stay true to yourself. Thanks for watching.